Have you ever seen a basketball player so tall that he makes Shaquille O'Neal look small? In a sport where giants dominate, we've witnessed some of the most towering figures the game has ever known. Victor Wembanyama and Zach Edey are already redefining the future of the NBA at 7'4". The late Jorge Mureșan once stood tallest in league history at 7'07". Olivier Rioux, the 7'9" freshman, is tipped to rewrite the record books when he enters the draft. But all of these names fade into the shadow of one man. A man whose size defies belief. A man whose story is stranger than fiction. This is the tale of Abiodun Adegoke, better known across the internet as Big Niga, the 7'11". Mystery who once had the basketball world convinced he was the next big thing. It all began in 2021, when Shaquille O'Neal himself broke the internet by posting a video of this towering figure. The clip spread like wildfire. Fans rushed to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, desperate to learn about the man who dwarfed one of the most dominant centers in NBA history. But the more people searched, the stranger the story became. There were no articles, no official records, no Wikipedia page. The only trace was grainy footage of Big Niga dominating a youth basketball league in Dubai, moving among children like a titan among mortals. That revelation set the basketball world ablaze. The NPAC Youth Basketball League was exclusively for players aged 14 or under. So, was this 7'11" giant really a child prodigy, not even old enough to drive? If true, he wasn't just the tallest basketball player alive. He was the most unbelievable prospect in the history of the sport. Scouts imagined what he could become. Fans wondered how such a phenomenon could have gone unnoticed for so long. And almost overnight, the myth of a 14-year-old 7'11" superstar was born. But it didn't take long for cracks to form in the illusion. Skeptics began to ask questions. How could someone nearly 8 feet tall, supposedly a teenager, have escaped global notice until that moment? Born in Nigeria, Abiodun's life before his viral rise was wrapped in mystery. Whispers of age fraud circulated as stories surfaced of him playing in Nigeria and South Sudan years earlier, far too young for the age he was claiming. The footage didn't align with his supposed timeline. And then came the damning reports. A Nigerian article from 2016 described him as 17, almost 18 years old. That would make him 26 or 27 today in 2025. Not a teenager, not even close. The theory unraveled further when those who had known him before came forward. Seun Odegbame, a Nigerian sports icon, revealed that he had met Abiodun years earlier, encouraging him to embrace basketball despite his insecurities about his size. When the viral video hit, Odegbame wrote publicly that Abiodun was already in his 20s. The truth was undeniable. Big Niga had never been 14. He had been repackaged as one, pushed into the spotlight by handlers and agents who believed that presenting him as a prodigy would open doors that his true age would slam shut. Why lie? The answer was painfully simple. By the time the world discovered him, Abiodun was already too old for the U.S. basketball pipeline. He had missed out on elite prep schools, strength and conditioning programs, nutritionists, and exposure to high-level competition. American scouts wanted teenagers they could mold into stars, not men already approaching their athletic prime. So the story was altered. The world was told he was 14, an untapped gem ready to be polished. But the deception couldn't last. People remembered him. His past resurfaced, and the dream collapsed, yet the fascination didn't stop. Videos circulated of Abiodun palming a basketball with 2 fingers, dunking without jumping, and shooting with one hand. Clips of him measuring himself at 7'11" were posted online, as if to remind the world that regardless of his age, his size was still otherworldly. But in today's NBA, size alone isn't enough. He lacked the training, the durability, and the foundation that other giants like Taco Fall, Bol Bol, or Wembanyama had from the start. His struggles were visible. Years of living in houses too small for his body left him with a permanent hunchback. Shoes were nearly impossible to find, and he often played barefoot as a child. Unlike the carefully developed 7-footers of today's game, he never had the resources to maximize his gift. By the time he entered the global conversation, it was already too late. Scouts lost interest once they discovered his real age. No college was willing to take him on. No NBA team would gamble on him. Even professional leagues overseas passed him by, and so the tallest basketball player in the world became an online figure instead of a professional athlete. His Instagram and TikTok clips show workouts, not games. Casual shooting, not competition. Despite towering above every other player alive, he remains an amateur, untested in any professional league. The truth is cruel but undeniable. At 7'11", Abiodun Adegoke is simply too tall for the game he loves. His body was never built to withstand the grind of professional basketball. His journey wasn't just delayed, it was derailed. The story of Big Niga is one of what could have been. A story of potential lost in the cracks of circumstance, deception, and the harsh reality that height, as much as it can be a gift, can also be a curse. The agents who tried to manipulate his path may have given him brief fame, but they robbed him of credibility. And today, as Olivier Rioux rises and Victor Wembanyama becomes the NBA's new face, Abiodun remains a cautionary tale, proof that even the tallest man in the gym can be left without a team to call his own. But there is still something unforgettable about his presence. When you see him next to Shaquille O'Neal, when you watch him palm a ball with fingers like tree branches, you can't help but imagine the spectacle he might have been. Maybe he never needed to play in the NBA to leave an impact. Maybe his legacy is simply reminding us how far the human body can stretch. What do you think? Did Big Niga miss his chance, or was he never truly meant for the NBA in the first place? Should the world have embraced him differently, or was the truth always destined to come out? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that uncover the hidden side of basketball's biggest legends.